Captain Patrick Asimwe, the Assistant Project Engineer for the proposed removal of asbestos and remodeling of the laboratory block in Kololo Senior Secondary School.
This is the new modern classroom block, state-of-the-art facility and a learning environment conducive for the success of Kololo Senior Secondary School.
This new facility has two components. One, it involved the removal of asbestos, which ideally was toxic according to international standards. And so this project, to begin with, is going to improve the air we breathe. It is going to improve the health of our learners and the community within the school. So the removal of asbestos is a welcome intervention. Then two, it is going to expand and has expanded the capacity of the school. Again, the school had a population of about 3,000 learners, but with these interventions in terms of improving capacity, we right now have over 5,000 learners. So it has improved the capacity of the school in terms of classroom space, and also it has decongested the classrooms where they were so compacted that I think we now have fairly some good space for the learners to learn.
By name, I am Burega George, working with the KCCA, a civil engineer and the supervisor of this project undertaken by UPDF. It is a project for removing asbestos, and in the essence of doing that, we had to expand the classroom and laboratory block so that we accommodate more students. This project, UPDF started it in 2022, in September to date, and they have so far executed 3 phases. That is phase 3, phase 4, and the current phase 5, and we hope there will be phase 6, which will work on basically the laboratories. The quality of work is good, and they are doing it on time. Basically, they listen to instructions whenever we give them, and somehow they advise us on better options for good execution of the project. We appreciate and we look forward to working with the UPDF on any of other projects that we are undertaking.
The project is called Proposed Remodeling and Removal of Asbestos. So basically, we had to remove asbestos from the structures that were in Kololo Senior Secondary School, and also remodel the classes that were around to make sure that we have a storage building, which we've been undertaking since September in 2022. So we started this project in September 2022, and this project has been done in phases. We've had phase 3, where we cast the second floor slab, and where the project, that first phase cost around 541 millions. Had to cast the slab, also do the finishing of that entire floor.
UPDF Engineering Brigade undertook a comprehensive remodeling project, including the removal of asbestos and replacement with modern, safe and durable materials.
Basically, when we came in, we found the block was not complete, was not finished. They had only cast the first floor slab and put up a few block work. That's where we started from. So we came in with a team of around 30 soldiers, and also as a guidance, we always team up with a few locals to make sure that they also benefit from our being on site. We always bring in some casual workers to give us a small assistance, and also for them to gain or to benefit from the works that we always do around a given community.
This is a story building. Take us to know what building did you finish
the first phase that we handled, basically it took us 6 months because we had to. It is a very long block. When you look at it, it's around. There are 2 blocks, each of 50 meters. So we had to prepare the formwork. We do the steel work. We had to then also laying the max spans, doing the first fixes of electrical and plumbing, all that, and then casting. Where the block is, it's really in a remote, hard to reach kind of setting. The buildings are surrounding it, so only had to use already mixed concrete, where we had to use boom boosters so that the concrete is pumped and to the required areas after putting up the formwork and the steel. So we had to pump the concrete and cast. So that process, basically we only took around 6 months to make sure that we cast and also do the finishing on the ground floor. And from there, that phase had to end because it started around September and it ended around March.
Originally, there was some apprehension, wondering how possible it was for us to be here with soldiers carrying out construction. And of course, again, it was new that we were being told that now it is the soldiers who are coming to do the construction. We were used to them doing some other work. Of course, originally there were some misgivings that they have the capacity to do all this work all over the country, in all the schools. So we're anxious to see them execute this mandate with some little bit of skepticism. But definitely when they got on the ground, they allayed all our fears. They came in with vigor, they came in with a lot of professionalism, and we saw the work moving at a speed faster than we had even thought. So they won our confidence. They won the confidence of the parents. They won the confidence of the students. They won the confidence of the wider public that indeed UPDF has engineering brigades which can do work, do good work, and record the time. So I'd like to appreciate UPDF for having lived to what we expected them to do. Because as UPDF, they are associated with the quality, with the discipline, with the commitment, and in executing this work, they have not let anybody down. So I thank them and congratulate them for not having betrayed their commander-in-chief, who thought it wise that they could do this kind of work.
With the expertise of UPDF Engineering Brigade, the job is getting done safely and efficiently.
Kampala Capital City Authority, our employer for this project, they've been really good employees. Reason being, when it comes to funding, they process funds in time, and the supervising team really also will have always periodic checks and meetings that really bonds us together to make sure that we move in line. So the supervisors and the other directors that process the funds, really they've been not bad, and they also testify on the quality of work, because if we didn't if we are not giving quality work, they wouldn't have proceeded with us. So basically that is the kind of relationship we've been having with Kampala Capital City Authority.
My name is David Esuku. I work as Manager Education Operations at KCCA. This project for removal of asbestos and expansion of classrooms and laboratory block at Kololo SS is funded by the government of Uganda through KCCA, and we've been implementing it in a phased manner. Every financial year, when Parliament appropriates resources, we make an allocation from the secondary school development grant. And we've been doing this on average of about 500 to 600 million every financial year for the last 3 financial years. And that is how we've been implementing it.
Employers always give us the bills of quantities and the drawings. So when you look at the bills of quantities for a given portion of work that you're given, you have to fill in the rates accordingly, the rates that will really enable you to execute that kind of work. Then from there, an agreement is reached on with the employers. Then we proceed with the works. The good thing is that there are always internal checks and balances in the army. So different teams always come and check what are we doing. Are we on course? Are we executing the way the documents are saying? Are we as per the plan? Because not only the client checking us, but also our internal systems that were set up, monitoring and evaluation teams, they always come to check the progress. We do periodic reporting and also accountability for every coin that is dispersed for this kind of work. Quality control and quality assurance, we really source materials from genuine suppliers. For example, our steel comes from companies that have really served for a given period of time, like roofing, Uganda Bati, and Steel and Tube. Not only that, after obtaining those materials, you have to take them for testing, in the central lab. Every material that doesn't pass, really, we don't use. So that is for steel work. The same applies to cement. Cement comes directly from factories like Hima, Tororo, and the rest. However, it also has to be subjected to lab tests. If it fails, really, it can't be used. But good enough, those materials have always passed, and our supervisors have given us a go-ahead to proceed with the materials. Then when it comes to local materials like sand, aggregates, also we pick samples from different quarries that are always tested, give the results to the supervisors, who pass them when they feel satisfied or when they meet the properties that are required. So from that, then we proceed using those materials like Rela sand. It really has no big impurities. So basically, we've been undergoing such kind of procedures to ensure we have good and better materials to use on site.
The total project cost of 2.99 billion shillings demonstrates a significant investment in the upgrade and development of Kololo Senior Secondary School's infrastructure.
Yeah, I'll begin by, of course, like I've said, congratulate and thank them for the work which has been done. They have done it in record time, and I call upon them to uphold this. They have exhibited professionalism. Let them uphold. all in all, we pray that our other institutions do benefit from this kind of work that we have also benefited from UPDF. We wish them the best in all their other endeavors elsewhere. Although, like at one point it mentioned, they're about to leave, yes, but they brought in another challenge, but a positive one. Because when the population jumped from so few to so many, by the time they came in, we have an additional population of over 2,000, which means that our capacity again has been depleted. And we love that they stay slightly longer, but of course to remain engaging KCCA to give us more funds so that we again expand further our infrastructure to be able to take on the extra population. So there's still a lot of work for UPDF to do here. And we still welcome them once the opportunity is availed.
Thank you, sir.
The remodeling and asbestos removal project at Kololo Senior Secondary School is a shining example of what can be achieved through collaboration and dedication.
I can give you the background. In the financial year 2021-2022, the UPDF under Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs received a directive from the Commander-in-Chief, the President of this country, that the UPDF Engineers Brigade gets involved in infrastructure development of ministries, departments and agencies. To us on the side of UPDF, we received the directive as an order, and orders are never discussed. They are only implemented. And we treated it as an order or an operation other than war. And like any other operation other than war, the leadership took the lead in guiding on how we should proceed. And since then, we have done quite a number of projects for ministries, departments and agencies. To mention but a few: Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education and Sports, where like this project of Nambole Falls, we have done projects under Office of the Prime Minister. We have implemented projects under Ministry of Internal Affairs, KCCA, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, the project at Entebbe, to precisely from the time of the directive in 2021, we have been able to execute 353 projects. And out of those, 164 are under implementation right now, and 189 are completed and handed over or commissioned in different locations. For this particular exercise, which we call the documentation exercise, it was guided by the leadership at the Ministry of Defense headquarters, that other than doing the civil works, we also need to document whatever we have been doing and then give it to the public to consume it. They get to know what we do and how we operate. And this exercise started in this financial year. Apparently, we have finished projects in the Western region. We have gone to the Eastern region, and currently we are handling the Central region. For today, we visited Kololo SS, where we have a bigger project of putting classroom blocks and removal of asbestos roofs that had been there for centuries. And the second project for documenting this afternoon was the Mandela National Stadium here at Nambole, which has been one of the biggest projects that we have really implemented. And we are happy that it is done, it is functional. So the major function of this documentation exercise is basically to keep documenting all those projects that are being implemented by the UPDF in different locations.
The Kololo engineering project scope includes remodeling and removal of asbestos, wall fencing, canteen and roofing of buildings.
At the completion of every phase, sensitization is always put to make sure that the use of the building is used as per recommendation, because we have to make our reports, then also give recommendation. Maintenance on every building or on every structure is a key aspect, so that the school has to make sure that these buildings are maintained periodically, starting from the routine maintenance of just cleaning, sweeping, mopping, cleaning the windows, then also checking the electrical works in case of then bulbs are broken down. You don't wait, because when you wait, at the end of the day, the one that started as the one bulb, you'll find it affecting maybe another bulb like that. So you find the building deteriorating in the shortest period time possible. Then also cleaning, you won't find dust. If you don't clean, at the end of the day you find a lot of debris, so cleaning around the building, those are some of the things that really keep the building functional. And also water systems, you have to be checking. In case of any blockage, you make sure that they unblock in time. You don't wait for a pile so that you clean. You don't do you do minor repairs, major repairs in time, so that the building serves its purpose for a longer time.
Yeah, this new block has laboratories. Originally it had classrooms which were not stored, and this project remodeled and made the structure storage to provide for 3 floors. Of these 3 floors, the ground floor has 3 laboratories: physics laboratory, chemistry, and biology. And then we also have classrooms. Originally, the original plan of this project had about 40 classrooms. But by the time these designs were made, that was before COVID. So the classrooms were very small. But when this project started, it was around COVID time. And there was a lot of emphasis on spacious rooms. So we impressed upon the engineers, the contractors, to make some modifications in the sizes of the classrooms to provide for bigger classroom spaces. So this pulled down the number of classrooms from 40 to 28, but very spacious classrooms. So we have a total of 28 classrooms, and this is an addition to what we already had. And on top of that, we're also providing for some 2 offices for administrators to be able to supervise the teaching and learning on the big block that has been put up. So basically it is for teaching and learning.
It is such an achievement, and we as students, we've been able to get more classes because it has created space. Now when it comes to us A-levelers, we are going to be able to have more spaces for our particular subjects. We know that in A-level we do different subjects, so this new building has created more space for us to have lessons in those respective classes.
I want to thank the President, our President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Kaguta, I want to thank him for the great opportunity and for each and everything he has done for us. First, I want also to thank him that he has enabled our school, Kololo Senior Secondary School, to be a good school that each and everybody is having joy and is having fun over it. Not only having joy and also other things, but also having more services, having good services that are being provided to each and every learner here.
More rooms are being created and we are being able to put the other population somewhere else. So we want to give a lot of thanks to our dear government, to the President, to the Ministry of Education, for allowing in all schools in Kampala to give this opportunity to our school, to be able to have new buildings, to have a new looking school that will be able to attract more and more people to our school.
We thank the Ministry of Education and Sports, which is headed by the Honorable First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, our school has been granted with a new building and infrastructure that really appreciate it. So First Lady, the Honorable, and the Minister of Education and Sports really appreciate it. And also I'd like to appreciate the UPDF. You have really done a great work that our school has really gotten infrastructure. We really appreciate you.
This year, we want to thank them for really interesting us and also listening to the directive of the Commander-in-Chief and also giving us opportunities to showcase our abilities and our experience. They've been really it has been so good working with KCCA as a team, and also we pledge to them that every time they call us upon, we shall be available to execute whatever kind of projects they will be having, and with quality and with low costs. Our leaders from UPDF Civil Engineers Brigade and the General Army leadership from the Chief of Defense Forces, really they've given us the ability, they give us the strength to execute these kinds of projects.
You